Video today we are reacting. I ate every era foods for 5 days, but the era get older every day. Let's just get this video started, guys. Let's go. By Splashy.
Have you ever thought about how food has changed over the course of history? I mean, imagine trying to explain McDonald's to a caveman. Well, for the next 5 days, I'll be eating food from every iconic era in history. But each day, the era gets more modern. And it all starts on Day 1, Level 1, Caveman. Well, let's dive into our history books for a second. Cavemen ate whatever they could hunt or gather. There were no restaurants and no supermarkets, which meant they mainly ate meat from animals they hunted, along with berries and nuts they found in the wild. So, let's go to Winn-Dixie! I'm looking for the biggest caveman-looking meat I can find. So, I found the meat section and laid my eyes upon this beautiful ribeye steak. But it was a little pricey. $15 for a single piece of meat is insane. Anyways, I found the nut section and got this big box of cashews, and then finished it off with some blueberries. For the very first meal of eating like a caveman, I'm gonna be eating some raw cashews and some blueberries. I mean, there's not much to say here. They're blueberries, so they're pretty good. Let's move on to the cashews. In all honesty, I'm not a big fan of nuts. In fact, I don't like cashews at all. It's just not for me. But regardless, I have to eat this entire thing. Blueberries and cashews are not enough. Obviously, I'm gonna get hungry real quick. So, it's time for an actual meal. This meat. So, I put it on the hot pan, and shortly after, it was ready to be eaten. But there was one problem. Cavemen didn't season their food like we do today, which means I was about to eat plain, cooked up meat with no salt or pepper. And so, I took my first bite. It was still pretty good. And since I stuffed myself up with berries and nuts earlier, eating a fat, juicy steak felt like heaven. That steak filled me up. I mean, with the lack of spices, it wasn't the greatest piece of meat I've had. But regardless, I'm full. So, I'll see you again when I get hungry later on. And so, for the rest of the day, I spend my time stuffing myself with cashews. I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Day 2! Level 2, Ancient Rome. Bro, I have literally no idea what Romans eat. Well, let's go back to our history books. Compared to the cavemen, during this time, food had evolved a lot thanks to farming and trading. Most meals included things like bread, grapes, and cheese. But olive oil was a staple, because olives grew easily in their land. Fish was also super common, since many Roman cities were near water. Anyways, let's go and buy some food. So, I went to my local supermarket and immediately found this big piece of bread. Italian bread. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. I then headed on over to the cheese section. I've been looking for Romano, but I can't seem to find it, so I think my best bet would have to be ricotta cheese. And to finish it off, I grabbed a big bag of grapes. I went straight to my house and began making my first meal. Bread with a side of olive oil. Bread was the most common thing that all of ancient Rome ate, so it only makes sense that I'm starting off with this in the morning. I wish I could eat cereal, but this will do. Yeah, there's not a lot of flavor going on in here. I'm not a big fan of the combo, but regardless, that'll do. I'll see you again when I get hungry for lunch. A couple hours had passed, and I wanted a quick snack before I went to work. So, I got some grapes and some cheese, and well, this was basically gonna be my lunch. Eating ricotta cheese by itself was not a great tasting experience, but luckily, these grapes made the meal taste a lot better.
Apparently you can go from 0 to a complete site in just a single...
Sorry about this ad, guys.
I don't know if this is going to be possible.
I'm at work right now. It's around 9 p.m. and I am starving. So, the only thing I can get here at work is fish. Although this looked magnificent, I'm not the biggest fan of seafood. But regardless, I took my first bite. Honestly, I'm being dramatic. It's not that bad. And so, I absolutely demolished this meal. And with that, I went to bed ready for the next day. Day 3. Level 3. medieval. Just to make this a little more challenging for today, I'm gonna be eating like a medieval peasant. Medieval peasants ate simple, filling foods because meat was rare and expensive. Most meals were things like bread and thick vegetable stew, made with whatever crops they could grow. Anyways, there's only one place that I know that sells stew. So, we're going to Foods. I looked around the whole store, and I wasn't able to find any fresh stew, but I did stumble upon a ready-to-eat soup section. They're basically almost the same thing, so don't get mad at me in the comments. Anyways, I opened up the lid. I'm sorry, but I was looking at straight diarrhea. Regardless, I filled up my cup, and right after, I grabbed this huge loaf of sourdough bread. I've never been this nervous to eat a bowl of soup. I don't even know if I could classify this as soup. It genuinely just looks like if you mix barf and diarrhea into one thing. This is what medieval peasants had to eat all day, every day. Alright, first bite. Here we go. It's just a bunch of lentils and some carrots in there. Overall, it's not bad, but would I get it again? No. I also bought this ginormous piece of bread. This thing is huge! And I'm just assuming that sliced bread wasn't a thing back then, so I'm just gonna take a bite out of this huge thing. Oh. This is way better than the soup. I'm gonna take a couple more bites out of this bread, and then I'll see you later again when I get hungry later on. Fun fact, another thing medieval peasants loved was when people subscribed to the channel. So, if you want to make them happy, you should hit that subscribe button. For the rest of the day, I held on to my loaf of bread, and I was taking bites out of it every now and then. I'm so tired of eating bread. The thought of eating even more is disgusting me. As a medieval peasant, you're eating soup and bread. That's all it is. But I think I've had enough of both. So I'm gonna drink more water and go straight to bed. Day 4! Level 4, 1950s America. At this point, food started to become more about convenience. This was when TV dinners were introduced. Pre-made meals you could just heat up and eat while watching television. At the same time, classic diner foods like burgers and milkshakes became really popular. Let's go get some food at Target. I immediately went to where the pre-made meals were at. This is exactly what I was looking for. I got 2 boxes. One was meatloaf with mashed potatoes, and the other was fried chicken. Alright, I just got home, and the very first meal I'm gonna have is meatloaf. In a box. This cannot taste good. I already know I'm gonna have a terrible experience with this. The thought of frozen meat being ready after a couple minutes in the microwave did not seem appealing to me. Ew. Oh, dude, that looks disgusting. Well, this was about to be my breakfast. And just when I thought the soup from yesterday was the worst thing ever, I somehow managed to find something even worse. These mashed potatoes don't even look real. Here goes nothing. You know what? I might have spoken too soon, because that actually tastes pretty good. But now it's time to try out the meatloaf. Once again, it tastes really good. Well, I'm gonna finish this, and I'll see you later on for lunch. It's been a couple hours, and once again, I'm getting hungry. So, for lunch, we're having... I hate this challenge. I did feel a tad bit more confident in eating these frozen TV meals, but I still had my suspicions. I have to constantly remind myself that it tastes better than this looks. Let's try it out. It honestly tastes like watered down mashed potatoes, which is probably what it is. What makes me really hesitant is that the chicken was drowned in the mashed potato. Oh, dude, that just doesn't even look... Yup, I was wrong. It tastes like regular chicken. Anyways, I'll see you later tonight, because I'm gonna be having a milkshake! I just can't help it. I was craving something sweet at night. It's the perfect way to end the night. And so, Having something that delicious helped me sleep a lot better that night. Day 5! Level 5, modern day. Nowadays, food is dominated by fast food. Quick cheap meals you can get in just minutes. Unlike every era before this, eating is no longer about finding or making food. It's about how fast and easy you can get it. There's a lot of food options I can pick from for modern day, but I think I'm just gonna go for the most obvious ones. So, I'm going to McDonald's! I got their most iconic food, a good old Big Mac with fries and a Coke. And after eating lots of bread and those suspicious TV dinners, it was nice to have a delicious burger paired with some fries. And to make it even better, I got some chocolate chip cookies. This was heaven for me, so I finished my entire meal and walked out. For the very last meal in modern day, we're going to the place that every person that belongs to Gen Z usually goes to. Crumble Cookie. Crumble Cookies is one of the trendiest new food spots, so it's only right that I finish this entire challenge with one of the most modern things. And so, I walked out of that place with 2 ginormous cookies. Also, side note, one of these cookies is about 700 calories. How insane is that? Anyways, I'm starving, so let's take a bite out of this. Eating this cookie is probably one of the best things I've had all week. And finally, to wrap up this entire challenge, we're finishing it with a chocolate chip cookie. I will say, this is a very good cookie. Well guys, I finally finished eating food from every single iconic era. If you're still watching up to this point, please hit the subscribe button. And while you're at it, why don't you watch the next video?
Whoa.
Sorry about this,
What's
the
that?
ad, guys.
I just bought the
Sorry
budgeting
about
app in
this.
base 44. Guys.
That should be it of this video. You guys like these type of reacts and video, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. You want me to react to anything else, please comment down below. Hope you guys like this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching. Guys, just a heads up, I won't film for like 6 or 10 days because I am moving and the house doesn't have Wi-Fi, so yeah, sorry about this, but yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Jack Daytime out.